Hello guys, and welcome to another profile tree video. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at the best digital marketing tools of 2025. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, starting off with our very first platform, it's ChatGPT. Now there are very similar AI tools out there like Claude, you've got Copilot, Gemini, but I would say that this is a great starter tool, especially for someone starting off. And if you don't already know it, it's a really good assistant to have. You would mainly use this as a tool for helping you with tasks, creating emails, creating blogs, let's just say, or content creation. I would not recommend to copy and paste everything that it says, because at the very bottom, as you can see, ChatGPT can make mistakes. So that's one thing about ChatGPT that I don't necessarily would trust it for. However, I would use it more of a foundation or a guide to help me with my content if I'm creating a blog, let's just say. So let me just take you through how to use ChatGPT. Now, on this part here, this is mainly where you're going to be messaging or chatting to ChatGPT itself. The best thing to do is to treat this more of a tool like talking to a human rather than talking to an assistant or as a tool. So when it comes to this, we'll just say, hi, I need help with creating social media content. Now, I would say that if you were going to put this prompt in, this would be more of a weaker prompt, because we haven't specified exactly what sort of social media platforms we're using, what sort of help we actually need. Do I have low engagement? Do I have low reach? What's my current digital presence? What's my current digital strategies? So it's best to always start off at the very start. Let's just say if you do have a website, that's even better because you can just enter in your domain name. But for us, we'll just say my business is called Profile Tree. Now, the way to activate this as well is to select the tools. Now, you always have options here. You can create an image, you can search the web, write code, or run a deep research. These are my two recommended ones, which is create an image or search the web. This is the one that we're going to use first. And we'll go ahead and hit enter. I do note whenever you are creating a brand new line, you're best to hold down shift and then press return a few times. That enables you to create a brand new line when you're using ChatGPT. So there you go. It's given us a couple of ideas. It's given us more of an insight as to what we do. Now I'm going to turn off the search function and I'm going to ask it, can you please give me 7 days worth of social media content? Be sure to give me social media caption ideas on top of this as well. This should help us get some ideas going. There's one there. So SEO myth busting posts. So that'll be a good one. A couple of different ones here. So it's just client success snapshot. Again, your main goal here is to let it know exactly your situation, what you're currently doing, what's working, what isn't. You want to treat this more of a conversational tool rather than the search engine, let's just say with Google or Bing or whatever sort of search engine you're using. So that would be the best approach to ChatGPT. Good thing about this as well is that it can accept images, which can form that into text. If you wanted to as well, it can create content from scratch, so that'll be text to image generation. And you'll have that option again here for create an image. Now that'll be really good for, let's just say if you are creating a blog and you needed a featured post or like a featured picture, then you can just ask ChatGPT to create one for you. Or if you wanted to help you with creating documents, or let's just say you want an Excel sheet and you've researched your bits and pieces, you can ask ChatGPT to create one for you. or you can ask it to read through PDF files, read through Excel sheets, Word documents, anything at all. That's what ChatGPT is capable of doing nowadays. It is really good as well. I'll just do a little demonstration here. So let's just say you took a screenshot or a screen grab of some wording, and you can't, let's just say you just don't have enough time to copy it word for word. You can just paste it into ChatGPT, ask it, can you please read out the words in this image, please? And the great thing about that is it'll go ahead and do that for you. So you can see it's literally just copied. It's read through this and it's given us exactly what we wanted. Now, when you're creating images from scratch, the best thing to do is, I'll just give a demonstration. Let's just say, can you please create a featured post image for my blog about digital marketing tools of 2025. So the main word that it's done there is, or what it's picking up from, is create an image. So, okay, please confirm. Okay, so should it include the profile tree logo? Okay, for the image size, this is the logo. Again, I'm just going to go into photos, search up for this logo here. So ideally what you want to do is just give it as much information as you can. So we got our logo in, and that's perfect. So I'll just enter it in. Now, you can't always rely on ChatGPT to create images from scratch. I would mainly use this still for, well, as I say, an assistant for helping you create content with blogs, or if you need it for coding as well, you could use it for coding. So it does have a lot of really good uses. I've also found it to be helpful for back office processes. So that's with emails. Well, it's really helpful really with, let's just say if you wanted to organize something, you could take a picture of whatever you're organizing, and then it'll tell you the best approach. It's things like that which is very helpful for your digital marketing. So it took a couple of minutes there, but you could see how it's went ahead and created something for us. So again, it's really good for what it is. It's simple. It's created it straight away there for us, and we didn't need to use the likes of Photoshop or even Canva in order to create a featured image. So there you have it. That is pretty much some of its uses, ChatGPT, for your digital marketing tools. So the next one that we'll be looking at is a platform called Canva. Now, this is going to be very, very helpful when it comes to creating that brand template that you need. So we've just got it loading up here. So this is Canva. Now, there's two platforms that you can use, one being the free version, one being the pro. The only difference is that with the pro version, you're getting some of the features such as background removal. You have options to look at all of the different elements and different designs that are currently locked. It'll have that little gold crown. So there are ways to still use the free version in order to create any design that you want. You're probably seeing it straight away from my screen here, how I've went ahead and used it for, let's just say, creating images for social media captions or posts, or even creating LinkedIn backgrounds. So there's a lot of things that you can actually create using Canva. So we'll go ahead and get started. Top left, you'll have the option there to create. So go ahead and click on that. Now you'll see straight away here, you'll have a couple of options on what to choose for in terms of templates. So what we're going to do is we will search up for Instagram. It does have options for different social media platforms as well. I do believe there's TikTok as well. Yep, so there's TikTok. You might even have some for Pinterest. Yep, there's the Pinterest pins. and then Facebook, of course, and of course you have LinkedIn. There's several different platforms out there as well, and it is able to do that. Now, if you do have an issue or you can't find the correct sizing for it, you still have that option to create a custom size. So if you click on this, you'll have the option for width, height, and then you can select the units as well. So what we'll do here is we'll just create that Instagram post. We'll use Instagram post square, so 1080 by 1080. Now, a lot of people think that you have to create a design from scratch. The great thing is that you can actually use the designs that people have. They've already created this, so there's no point of you making that effort in order to come up with something from scratch. So let's just say we're within the digital marketing realm. So if I just search up for digital marketing, you'll be able to see a bunch of different designs that's available for digital marketing. Now, the only thing is, again, this only is going to be an issue if you don't have the pro version, but you'll see here you'll have designs that have that little crown on the bottom right. That just means that you can't use it, so you'll have to pick one without that little crown on the bottom. So again, let's just say this one, for example. It's very simple, very plain. Everything is pretty much there. So let's just say if you want to change the color of the background, you can. So I will go ahead and do an upload. I can go ahead and just add in elements that I want. I could take pictures or copy and paste images straight away as well. But I've already added that profile tree logo in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and use it. I'll use the white one. We just have that floating on the top left. Now, the great thing is as well, I could just highlight all these elements. If I wanted to, I could move it all down. If you're struggling to find a particular element, if you just right click or hover over an element and right click, you'll have the option then to select layer, show layers. And that'll give you all the different options here as well. So what we want to do now is change that background color to green. Let me just get the color of this logo. Feel free to use this as well. So I use a tool called Colorzilla. It's really good for helping me pick out the actual hex code or colors. So that's one I hadn't done that for us. And for these guys as well, just want to turn them into color white. Same with this one. Probably want to make that color green. And then with the background, again, you can zoom in and zoom out if you need to. You'll have that option there for the toggle, just here at the bottom right. Just going to make that color white. And probably just remove this wee bottom one. So that'll be good for a social media post, I would say. So again, just need to scroll that down a little bit. If you want to get a little bit fancy, you can. You can adjust the colors if you wanted to. You could do like a gradient, let's just say. And there's different styles you could choose here. So one from top to bottom. If I wanted to, I can make that color white. And then with our green, of course, we've got that green color. Could go for that green, but we'll just slightly fade it. Like that. And there's multiple different options that you choose here, so feel free to play about with it. But I'm pretty much happy with that. So you can see that we started off from this design here, which is that one, and then we've converted it to this. And again, if you wanted to, you can add certain elements. So if, let's just say we did digital marketing, I could choose graphics, I could choose photos, videos, frames. Even if I wanted to change that light bulb here and change it for this one instead, you can see how everything is pretty much interchangeable. So that's pretty much everything that you would need to know about Canva. Again, you could create multiple different designs in one section. If you wanted to get a little bit fancy with it as well. Let's just move this down. Let me just show you. If I highlight all of this, I can give it some animation. So there you go. That'll mean though that this will become a video rather than a still image. But again, it still looks pretty neat. Something that you could use for your digital marketing presence. But yeah, that is Canva. Again, there's multiple different uses. It's not just for creating social media content. If you need it for creating presentations like a slideshow, you can. If you wanted to create a business card, you can do that as well. Background images or background cover photos, you can even create Zoom backgrounds. It just really helps make that business of yours more professional as well. So we'll move on to our last one, which is a scheduling tool called Buffer. So this is our next platform, which is called Buffer. The reason why I'm showing this instead of the Meta Business Suite is that if you have multiple different channels, let's just say you had a LinkedIn account, you had TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. You can see there all of the different platforms there scrolling through. It can be very, very difficult to manage, especially jumping on different platforms, uploading, scheduling ahead of time. Now, the technique that I would have is to use the Meta Business Suite just for Instagram and Facebook. Don't include it on Buffer. And with Buffer, any of the other socials that aren't part of the Meta group, such as LinkedIn, TikTok, Google Business Profile, all those different platforms, you can add that into Buffer. You get 3 for free. If you exceed that 3, you'll have to pay. So you can see here, 3 free channels, and that's free forever, which is great. If you're adding another channel, you're going to be billed $5, or I believe it's around £4 per year, or per month, sorry, for the entire year. If you were just to do a monthly, it's just changed by £1 or $1. So what we'll look at now is the actual platform itself. So just a quick overview here. You can see that 10 scheduled posts per channel, refill anytime, 100 ideas, 1 user account, AI assistant, basic analytics, world-class customer support. So, I mean, it's still really good, especially for free. If you just want to get started with it, 3 free channels, you know, what's there to complain about at the end of the day with that one? That's I would say that's really good to have. So we'll go ahead and log in. I'll just get set up here and I'll just take you through. Perfect. So now that we're in, on the far left side, so I've actually just connected the Facebook account here, one of our demo accounts, just to showcase this. But you'll have those other options such as Instagram Threads, there's Blue Sky as well, LinkedIn, YouTube, Google Business Profile, which is great. Again, that's another platform you guys need to really upkeep as best as you can. So Google Business Profile, as you know, not to get sidetracked, but it is one of the best citations you can use, especially for a business. Google reviews are very good to have, even if you are targeting business to business or the private sector. Regardless of who your customer base is, still really good to have those reviews. So how you would do this is you would simply just select new or new post. So we'll just go here, and then you can select post. Now on the very, very top here, you'll have all of your different social media platforms. So you'll have Facebook, you'll have Instagram, LinkedIn. So again, it's just a repeat of these channels here in the bottom. Now, whatever ones that you've decided to add, or if you decide to go for the 3 for free, you can decide to disable one of them if you wanted to. So let's just say for that one, I've just went ahead and disabled it, or I can go ahead and enable that. So let's just see, digital marketing 2025. So what we'll actually do is we'll go here to our post and we'll download it. We'll actually just do it as a PNG. And what we'll do now is we will add this file onto here. So you can see on the far right side on how it's actually going to look. And if you decide that you want to upload it now, you'll have the option there to share now. So once that's shared, it'll actually upload that towards the Facebook page. So I'll go ahead and show you the Facebook page now. So I've went ahead and jumped into Facebook there. You can see there that it's just been uploaded at Digital Marketing 2025 with the Canva creation that we've done earlier today. So that is pretty much how you would use Buffer. It's really good for every tool, well, all your different social media platforms out there. It's more the fact that if you're struggling for time management, it's a really good thing to have for scheduling posts ahead of time. As you know, you need to upkeep with the digital presence as best as you can. There's no point opening up several different social media platforms and not being able to handle them all. My recommendation, if you really want to start off, practice with Facebook and Instagram. Your audiences and demographic there is going to be completely different. So of course, for your Facebook, you'll have the older demographic, or even some of the younger demographic there. Whilst on Instagram, it is the middle-aged group and the younger demographic. And of course, we know TikTok nowadays is more for the true younger generation. So it's best to keep that in mind whenever you're scheduling posts ahead of time. And something else to consider, which is timing as well. So don't get too disheartened if you don't get the reach or engagement that you were looking for. It's all about trying to adjust to timing. Again, when it comes to summertime, of course, the daylight out there is a little bit longer. Takes a little longer. Of course, it depends based on location. So a lot more people would be jumping on social media at a later time, say 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. I might be wrong. It could be earlier, could be 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. Again, you just need to check your insights just to see what's going on, and that will require a little bit of research when it comes to your social media platforms. But there you have it, folks. That is pretty much the platforms that I would recommend. So again, ChatGPT, Canva, and Buffer. Now, these are your 3 strong digital marketing tools that you can use, especially if you're starting off as well. And there are several different platforms similar to Canva, similar to ChatGPT, and of course similar to Buffer, but these are the ones that I would personally recommend. So there you have it, guys. That pretty much reaches the end of the video. If you found it helpful, let us know in the comment section below. We'd like to know what you think. But other than that, I'll see you guys for the next video. Thank you very much for watching.